Yes Bank, you can say, has the advantage of hindsight. We have learned from lessons, and when we started the bank 6 years back, we could implement the best of the systems, the best of the technology, as also the best of the arrangements. Having said that, ever since the arrangements have moved away quite a lot, the technology has changed quite a lot. So we do also have legacy at this point in time. What we have done is we have made sure that the technology per se is not driving business, but it's primarily business aligned technology what we have worked on. What that means is that instead of focusing on technology per se, we have been focusing on business, the way the organization structure is aligned, the way we have outsourced what is easily called commoditized, and a little more than that, the way we leverage on partners who have better scale expertise about technology. We have been able to focus much more on business than worry too much about technology. Having said that, the architectural, the business decisions are made in-house, the designs are done in-house, so that the intellectual proprietary resides with the bank. What we did was we didn't really go for any development of solutions. We went for off-the-shelf, best-of-the-league solutions for all our customer and inward-facing technologies, which pertained to the core operations of the bank. In customer touchpoint technologies, we have always had a view that we should provide latest experience, latest technological experience, because that's where the technology is changing quite drastically. So whether you talk about internet, whether you talk about mobile, and it's not about just technology experience, it's about the customer convenience. So when you talk about, let's say, mobile, right? While the mobile penetration is much talked about anyway, the main point remains is, are the technologies, the applications implemented on mobile facilitating today anything more than surfing and voice functionality? The clear answer is no. There's a lot of scope out there to convert the mobile into an M-wallet. It has been talked about, but not really very clearly implemented. So we have, for example, taken a lead there, and we have implemented a pilot in partnership with OboPay and Nokia. And this pilot has been implemented in Pune, which really converts your mobile into a wallet. If you look at another technology that we have implemented in terms of customer touchpoint, and my guess is we still remain the only one in the financial services sector, is speech recognition based contact center. Now, it's a very simple problem statement. When you call up a contact centers, especially these days, everyone is calling up from mobile phones, and you are continuously juggling between your mobile phone on your ear and mobile phone in your hand in terms of choosing the options. Now, what does this speech recognition technology does? It primarily bypasses the need for one to press the key buttons on the mobile phone and instead speak the menu options. It also allows you non-linear menu options. So instead of going into a hierarchy of menus, for English press 1, and then getting into for current accounts press then third level of menu, for making a payment press something. Instead of that, you can have a very non-linear kind of a menu option, whereby the overall turnaround time, and once the customer has experienced the non-linear menu, he can get out of the call much faster, far better satisfied. Then we have other customer touchpoint technologies which are not really available directly to the customer, but they facilitate the customer interaction and far superior servicing. When the customer calls up the contact center, or when the customer comes to the branch, or when the customer is on the internet, we have one view application which provides a consistent information on the customer. And this information is not just financial transactions and the balances. It's about a lot of demographics, psychographics, business intelligence based selling opportunities for that specific customer, so that instead of bombarding and carpet bombing the guy with some products which are not relevant to him, we can pretty much do a focus shooting kind of a thing, a sales pitch, where we have identified an opportunity fit for that particular customer. Internally, we have, as I said earlier, we have chosen the best of the breed applications. There are applications like, and again, deviation from our standard approach of buying the best of the breed products. It's a business intelligence platform. And these days when I go to seminars, I'm hearing a lot of people talk about actionable business intelligence. And I thought we coined that word 2 years back. So someone has patented it also. So I don't know whether I can use it anymore or not. But the BI platform we have created has increased our productivity and efficiency and risk management processes so tremendously, because now we have a role based dashboard for all the service units and the process units. What happens is, instead of us circulating multiple reports to various roles and various users in the bank, we are now giving them a dashboard they need to check once in a day. Then we are implementing BPM technologies, which primarily will result in huge straight through processing uh, uh, and weaving the various systems together in terms of the human contact. Wherever the processors need to. It will take away a lot of data duplication in terms of entry. So once you have entered the data on the BPM platform, the multiple systems today that need to be updated manually, that will be eliminated, right? So all this put together, BPM, Kaleidoscope, customer query and management system, what they ensure is that we provide a superior consistent service to the customer. So one part is the customer experience at the touch points. The second is providing the consistent superior service to the customer. And put together is the customer experience. It's very simple, you know. if you look at growth, there are, and you divide it into the conventional horizontal and vertical growth. When I'm talking about vertical growth, we are talking about scale, we are talking about more branches. So that is a function of operational efficiencies, risk management, process management, business process reengineering. So we have the right tools, technologies, and processes to make sure that we address the vertical growth. Right? So let me give you an example. When I talked about business process management tool and automation, what we are eventually talking about is our ability to scale up non-linearly in terms of our operations. You eliminate duplicate data entry, you eliminate errors, you eliminate manual intervention, you do enable straight through processing. All that put together is what will help us in scaling up. The second aspect is in terms of the scale being managed, and these people, etc., the technology components, etc., being able to handle all this. So there are processes like capacity planning processes, which sort of factor in the growth. It takes trends from the past and it factors in the growth plans, and it allows you just-in-time kind of a scalability. Now with cloud computing, the just-in-time scalability is actually a reality. So to that extent, it's much easier. But again, you know, your ability to execute the projects and your ability to have processes which are continuously improving and self-correcting as you go along is what is important for the vertical growth piece. The second aspect of this growth is what you call the horizontal growth, where we're talking about two aspects. One is new lines of businesses or new product offerings, and the second aspect is business transformation. So if I take the new product offerings and you know, new lines of businesses, it's very straightforward. That's where the bandwidth goes. That's where we need to focus on, along with the transformation. So when you talk about credit cards, when you talk about retail assets, these are the new product offerings and new lines of businesses that we're talking about at this point in time. And transformation, primarily, I think one big area of transformation that we're talking about is in the space of mobile banking and mobile financial services. Right? So I think that's where our energies, effort, time, and the investments all are focused at this point in time. But the scale piece, the first piece, that's not a big challenge, not a big brainer. A lot of it is outsourced, and these guys, the outsourced partners, for example, for ATM, we have FDC as the partner. They have the right capability. They manage much larger networks. They have the right capability to both manage the operations as well as project execute very quick rollouts. Likewise, Wipro as a partner on the infrastructure management, technology infrastructure management size, has size and scale and experience of having done this many times before. And the architecture that we have chosen is really a centralized architecture, right? So what we put in branches is really dumb terminals. So to that extent, everything happens centrally. There's very little. For example, I don't have technology team, either Yes Bank team or vendors don't have presence in 75% of the branches. I think it's very important for the CIO to be on the management team and be part of the various strategic decisions that are being taken. It's important for CIO to be a business leader, to be able to not always waiting for orders, and to be able to contribute towards the strategy, as also proactively align the troops in the direction in which the business is headed. So to that extent, it's very, very important for the CIO to be part of the management team. Now, whether he reports to the CEO, whether he reports to the CFO, frankly, that is not much relevant. CIO needs to work very closely with the CFO, because at the end of the day, financials are very, very important, and technology has appetite for taking up as much investments as you like. So where exactly do you spend your money? CIO has to be very closely aligned to all the business heads, both in terms of educating them on what you can do, at the same time also the ability to be able to understand the pressures, the challenges, the direction that those businesses are. Okay. So to that extent, the entire senior management, CIO needs to be aligned very closely. Needless to say, CEO being the topmost guy in the organization and having a more holistic view, a more 360-degree view, and CIO also having a very 360-degree view, it's very important for the two to be in sync with each other. I think if I were to choose one, to be honest, that would be business alignment and focus on business. Okay, I run a team where I don't have one programmer, I don't have one database administrator, I don't have one network administrator, etc. I do have techies on my team, and they are collectively they cover pretty much the entire spectrum of technology needs, or the technical knowledge base and intelligence that we need to have in-house. But their job profile does not carry commoditized jobs. But a large part of my team comprises business analysts, which are drawn from the business functions, right? And what they do is they ensure that whatever we are doing in technology is primarily focused on business. When you talk about payment systems, now when you talk about direct banking and payment systems, these are very technology intensive processes, and they have huge customer touch point implications. So from that perspective, we have worked very closely with the businesses in terms of not just putting forward a technology, but in terms of conceptualizing the entire architecture for our payments. And that architecture now allows us to integrate multi-channel payments seamlessly without putting in much effort. I think one needs to be clear strategically in terms of what you want to achieve. The conventional models of technology offerings no more apply. They are very new and much more business aligned models being offered by partners now, which allow you a lot of flexibility and scale. So it's very important to choose a partner who's like-minded. Especially if you're a startup, you're talking about not everything being very streamlined, a lot of urgent requirements as against something that was planned 6 months back and needs to be rolled out in another 6 months. So you need to have a partner who's agile. You need to have a partner who understands the domain and the industry as much as you guys do. You need to have a partner who has compelling business proposals onto your table rather than just the technical expertise. Technical expertise is very important, but I think business somewhere takes over today as against the technical expertise. Frankly, today any startups should not be looking at having techies as the large part of their technology team. They should be looking at having business analysts as part of it. And the job of these business analysts is to conceptualize and architect solutions. Find the right partner to roll out these solutions with. Instead of going to their technology and asking for infrastructure, they need to look for hosted models, and that will raise a lot of concerns. The moment you say that, information security, yes, there are concerns, they are not fully resolved, but that's the future direction. So if you don't do it today, if you don't start addressing them today, step by step, you will be saddled with sunken investments on technology. So if you're a startup, you have a golden opportunity to look for something beyond owning your own infrastructure, etc., and link everything to the OPEX model as against the CAPEX model.